Yo guys, welcome back. This is, I believe, day one of week two. It's currently Saturday the 8th of November at 10:46 p.m. This is going to be a night stream and kind of just like a overview stream as well, looking at week one because I can't lie, I'm a little bit disappointed in myself of how much I've actually how much I got done. Right. So I haven't even filled it all out either, but I thought I might as well do it on stream. But okay, yeah. Obviously, obviously day one, I did a. Actually, let me pull up this so I can look at how long I've like streamed for really quickly. Hold on. Yeah, right. So obviously, day one, this day, 1st of November, I did my intro and looked at the first video. That was a 2 hour stream, okay? But if we look at the other ones, man, I can't lie that they are looking poor. Really poor. I did a half an hour stream, I think, because this was like. I think this was on like a college night. It's like a Tuesday night after training. And it was like half 11 maybe. I think I just went to bed. I can't remember, but that was just like a kind of like an accountability stream. I've already spoken about that, I think. Uh, that was a little stream, and that was another like accountability stream, like just like yeah. Then we're recording tonight, but tonight's recording. Sorry, is gonna be a it's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a long one. I want to get through a few things today. But anyway, I put this up. So this is the 2nd of November, day one, but it's probably like obviously it says the first here, but it's probably because I this got uploaded onto YouTube at like it was like 12:30 at night, so it got pushed onto the 2nd of November, and oh shit, that's probably also why I had another stream on the second as well, because that was the actual day two night stream. But then there's day three that I didn't stream for that. Well, I obviously streamed, but like that, I'm pretty sure this little live right here is just me saying that my dumbass excuse of why I'm not streaming. But day four, yeah, I streamed a little bit, and then ooh, this is the sixth. So we went from the fourth to the sixth. What was I doing on the sixth? I mean on the fifth. What day? Wednesday. Okay, so that was bonfire night. I went to go see the fireworks. So if we just fill this on here, we'll do day 5. How do I align it? There you go. Yeah. Wait, is it aligned? Why is it? Bro, this is not in the middle. Am I bugging out right now? Am I stupid? Why are these in the middle? Am I I feel like I'm bugging out right now. That does not look... Okay, whatever. So day 5, that was like I went to go see the fireworks. Oh wait, yeah. Also, didn't. Why is that blue? Spelling's ass, bro. So yeah, I didn't sleep at mine on that night. Shit. So that explains the 5th. So how do I? Mm. But that's that for the 5th. But so yeah, that's. Oh wait, I'm pretty sure. Wait, I missed another stream because it's the. I'm so lost. I've missed 2 streams. It's the 8th today. I missed. What is this? Wait, why did I not record yesterday for? Today, and I didn't record on the 5th. But I was just gonna say I'll probably run 10 kilometers. Oh, I remember. So yeah, my consequence for not recording on the 5th was I have to run 10k. This. Yeah, I remember because that was my like not excuse, but that was my kind of discipline that I get for for not recording. Yeah. So I said in my video of a live stream that I was gonna run 10k. I'd do a 10k run and I'll also do 100 push-ups. But it gets worse because I also missed a stream yesterday, and that's so I'm a 6th now. Wait, I didn't actually. Fuck, I'm so confused. I didn't actually stream though on the 6th. Well, I did, but I didn't stream. Like I didn't get anything done. Tomorrow, Friday, we hit it hard. Okay, cannot get to my computer. I could record on my phone, I guess, but then my house to college. We're gonna have to really yeah, because I'm so behind at the moment. This is bullshit. I actually can't remember. We'll just okay. We'll go just day 6. Don't worry, guys. I will be getting into the actual good stuff in a sec. I just thought I would live stream just going through this last week, or like not last week, but the first 7 days of what I was doing. So 6th of November. I'm pretty sure I'd like to say the reason I didn't record is yeah. Well, actually no. Well, I did, but I didn't go through any content. I think we should start doing like tick signs and crosses next to good days and bad days. And I know this all looks like procrastination to you, but I believe it will help. So first day I did a 2-hour stream. Second day it was like a half an hour stream. So I'll do like is that like a half? Can I do like a not I don't want to do a tick, but it's not cross either. It's like it's like in the middle. It's like a line. What the fuck am I doing? What's a good emoji that I can use? Oh wait, I just do like red, orange, and green. Red. Yeah, okay, that's a good idea actually. So I'll do green. Is that just okay? I'll do green circle. Day 2. It's like, is there not an orange? Fuck's sake, bro. Okay, we'll do hearts then. No, bro, please. Why is there not an? There's nothing orange. Oh my god, there is. Let's go. Okay, orange. Oh wait, I didn't do day 3 for third. What did I do on the third? What did I do on the third? What was this? I did go to work today. I earned some money, which is good. So steps forward today. Though. My screen time today. Okay. Third. Oh wait, no. Third was actually. Yeah, it was okay. I earned money, so I guess we'll call it somewhat of a win. I think I actually got my wages this week, so yeah. However, it didn't. So the third was orange because I actually did earn some money, so it's a step in the right direction. The fifth, red. Yeah, didn't record because I went to the fireworks. I wasn't even at my house, so yeah, it's all excuses. So it's red. The sixth. Wait, we missed out on the fourth. Yeah, I bet. The fourth was okay. I'm gonna give it a green. It was an hour stream. It was an hour stream. It looks like we went for a little bit. I remember this. This is like this day 4 was the first day that we went into actual like like the juicy information that I kind of need. Day 6. Red. I didn't record. I did, but it wasn't good. It was a like accountability stream thing. Oh wait. Wait. I've missed a day. Oh, this is fucked up. This is really fucked up. It's not fucked up, but so day 5. The 5th of day 5 doesn't actually exist. Well, it does, but it was recorded on the 6th. Right. How do I wrap my head around this? So day 5. Day 5 was actually recorded on the 6th. I think we. Oh wait, hold on. This is a shout. I think we do this by actual days. So even if I don't record, I'll have like the 3rd of November just blank. Or like, yeah. So we have the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th. Then after the 4th, on the 6th, I didn't record. Yeah. Day. What do I call a day that I didn't record? Like day 0. Because, yeah. The 6th of November is day 5. Actually. Yeah, okay. We'll do that. But I did stream on the 6th. That was day 5. This is just kind of confusing, but so anyway. So I didn't, yeah, okay. And then this takes us now up to Friday. We'll do Yeah, so the last proper stream I've had it was on the 4th. These have been rough, man. But my excuse, or whatever you want to call it, from yesterday, because it's the 8th today, isn't it? Yeah. Was well, I just went out with my mates, to be honest, after college. It was a Friday. I wasn't thinking. It's being a bum. You know how it is. And also there was some I don't actually know if I can say it on YouTube. I can involved. So can I not make it? Okay. I can't even make it bigger, but okay. Yeah. And that takes us up to today on the well, I actually need to write something with first, so went out with mates, college was so I didn't end up recording yesterday, but anyway, that's like this is overview. Oh, I think a good way to do this, you know, is can I? How do I? Okay. I think a good way to do this is see these like red and green and orange dot things. I'm gonna do a thing. So it's gonna be hold up. This week, I don't know how to explain it. Let me just show you. So I got green, orange, orange so far. So green, orange, orange. Green, right, yeah, green, orange, orange, green, red, red, red. Green, red, red, red. Yeah. So that's like the summary of this week. Literally just done that. 2 good days, 2 mid days, 3 bad days. Like it's bad. Looking like a 3 out of 10 week. So what could I improve on? So wait. Make sure to always do a in the morning. I feel the most like not motivated, but like most at peace to like do something like this, because after college I really, I don't know, my mind's all over the place. So make sure to always do a morning stream. Alright, that way no matter what, we will get like an hour done every morning. That's pretty good. Right? What else? So yeah, basically working on consistency. Like I would like to say like try prioritize this over more social events, but I really do like going out. Try make, but we will prioritize it, but try make more for social and business. So I can obviously go out like I did on Friday night and Wednesday, right? What else? I don't really know. I'd say that's pretty much it. But that brings us to the end of week 1 from the from the 1st to the 7th of November. But however, we'll do a thing. Things that went well. Gosh. Well, to be honest, I'm happy I started. Okay, I'm like actually pretty happy that I started this whole thing, because you know the first week's never going to be perfect, but you got to bear in mind that I have 52 of these to you know go through. I have 52. Is it 52? Am I dumb for saying 52? 52 weeks, yeah, 52 weeks in a year. So I'm happy I started. Week 1, I'd like to say that I thought it was going to be perfect, but I deep down I knew it wasn't going to be, but I tried my best, okay? At least we got 2 good days, and at least we started this, okay? Next week, you know, 3 or 4 good days, and maybe get away with these red days that I don't do anything on. So yeah, I'm happy I started. Oh wait, actually, things to work on, actually. More. Try to go through more content. I'm happy I started. Pretty much like the only thing I can really say went well this week, because I really didn't do a lot of like building or creating, or not a whole lot. Okay. Anyway, that's pretty much all I wanted to do on that. So this is week 2. We're on a fresh little section now. We'll make this my header again, but we'll change it. Week 2 from the, we'll say from the 8th, yeah. But yeah, from the 8th to the 14th. Yeah. Wait, hold on. Let me make sure I'm not being like a complete dumbass. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. So in 7 days' time, we'll do another overview. But yeah. Okay. Nice. It's not a whole lot here, but it's better than nothing. Okay. So yeah. Also, I think so I can make sense of like my notes and stuff like this. You read it really quick. I'll start putting the like video name next to it, so like 1.1, 1.2, so I know where I'm at. So what day are we actually on? This is day 6. Yeah. So oh yeah, I'm always gonna be like a day behind, aren't I? Or 2 days behind. Yeah. Okay, whatever. D6. And it is the 8th of and yeah. Let's just try and make this week better than the last, okay? And oh yeah, I mentioning. Sorry, I just remembered that I got paid, so I can change this money thing in the bottom right. Actually, you can't really see it. Okay, now you can see it. Hold on. Oh. I feel like I should change the color of it as well. When I'm on Google Docs, you can never actually see it. Make it green. Yeah, right. And the money that I actually earned was £200, which is pretty cool. So we're up £200 right now. Remember, this road to 10k, it doesn't necessarily all have to come from the business. Like, I do want to, like, if I make money from work or whatever, then yeah, I will add it to it. So I'm up £200 at the moment, and from that, let's actually start day 6, or the 8th of November.
This is going to.
I remember where I was at with this. Before I actually start, like, doing this, I'm just gonna move this. Wait. Move this over here so I can take notes. That can go there. That can go there. And phone will be not on my desk. Hold up. Okay. Phone is going do not disturb on my bed. Let's start.
Be a distracted state, and it's difficult to understand meaningful information and make it feel
I
important
think tonight, this is a 3-hour video.
enough to act on.
We'll try get through it.
If like you're constantly distracted, And this could be a 2-second time latency. So we go from focused to distracted in 2 seconds with the antithesis of the iPhone and the contact notification. So thesis, poor. Antithesis, buy lottery ticket. Contact, win the lottery. Synthesis, rich. Time could be 7 days. Thesis, I'm dumb. Antithesis, I'm going to read 100 books. Contact, I actually read them. Synthesis is smart. Time, it could take you 10 years to become smart. I mean, smart doesn't really exist on a binary scale. It's really how smart or how dumb are you, but you get the point. So thesis could be you're really thirsty, right? And you really want some water. Antithesis is you have water, you drink it, and then you're hydrated, and this could take 30 seconds. Bored, Netflix, watch, entertained, 2 minutes. Thesis, you're unfit. Antithesis could be a treadmill. Contact could be running on that treadmill. Synthesis could be that you're now fit, and it's taken 6 months. Thesis, your current situation in life. Antithesis, this program. Contact, actually applying the content. And then the synthesis could be your goal actually realized, which I'm pretty sure it will be if you pay attention and don't give up and stick to this thing. And then 12 months, it might take you 12 months to do that. It could take you 6 months, could take you 3 months, could take you
if I do it in 12 months or less, sorry,
2 years.
I'll be happy with that.
Could take you 12 months, I don't know. Probably not 2 years. Thesis, some atoms. Antithesis, some more atoms. Contact, a cheeky bit of heat, and the synthesis, the entire universe as we know it. So, this might take anywhere between 13 to 27 billion years, but this is the theory of the Big Bang and how the universe began, right? So, once again, I'm not going to get into the theological argument as to how the universe was created, but if you believe the Big Bang theory, what we had was some atoms, and then some more atoms, and then those atoms got kind of heated, and they bumped into each other, and then after like 13 to 20 billion years, we have the entire universe as we know it. Okay, so that's a pretty interesting thing to think about. This thing comes from the very beginning. Now, if this thing can bring the entire universe into existence, I think it can help you become a millionaire. Now, you're like, okay, Charlie, this sounds great and everything. This is great. Maybe you're not saying that. I don't really know. But you're probably thinking, like, why the hell do I care about this? Like, how on earth does this thing apply to me having success with an online business and making money? Well, more than you could possibly imagine. So let's apply this to the art and science of making money. So now that we've got to grips with the first principle of reality and really something that every single human being should know, we're going to.
Like I've watched this. Yeah, I have. How far was I in? Because I've seen this. Yeah, I've seen everything about critical information. I mean, it would be good to go over it again, but I don't know. We're quite behind, so we didn't really have time. Hold up. Let me just see how. I thought it's like maybe an hour in. Let me just see where I ended day 4 at, because that was the last time I recorded, like. We were. We were like here. This was where we were at. Wait,
Maybe
no, it wasn't. I might be further ahead.
But let's say the room in your bedroom, the air in your bedroom feels stale.
Later as well, so I've like around here. We'll play it from here. Okay.
But chances are is you don't know how to do this, so you come to me, or you come to someone that does. And my job is to provide you with the critical information, or to build a program like this using critical information that you can then, watch and consume, and then implement, and then, basically become successful. And then you can take your girlfriend out for dinner, and you can take care of your family, and you're no longer in this pain. And if this program does that for you, which it will, you will in turn associate value with it, and as a result of that, you'll be, you'll pay me money, or maybe you won't. I don't know. Easy Grow. So Easy Grow is the program beyond this one. This is our flagship program. Like, it's come as every single product that you've ever purchased. Every single product, and these are just a few examples, okay? But every single product that you've ever purchased ever, and I mean this, has come as a result of you trying to solve a problem to alleviate pain. Like, it really isn't any other way. You point to me that anything you've ever bought and you will find this to be true. You point to me anything anyone's ever bought ever and this will be true. And it will be true at least 99.999% of the time. Like, I'm looking outside right now and I can see 2 sun loungers right on the beach. I'm on the Palm in Dubai. And I can see these 2 sun loungers, okay? Now, why did I buy those sun loungers? Well, I have guests come to my house and they want to sunbathe. And if those guests have to lie on the floor to sunbathe, then that's kind of embarrassing for me and that makes me feel some small amount of pain. It's not that painful, it doesn't hurt that much, but the pain still exists. That psychological discomfort, that phenomenon of, micro suffering is still manifesting in my brain. And so I bought these sun loungers and I don't know, they were like $40 each or something. They $50 each, $30, I don't care. They weren't expensive is the point. And so, you pay for solutions in proportion to the size of the problem. Like, if you're in the desert and you're thirsty and you're literally dying of thirst, and someone brings you a nice old bottle of San Pellegrino, I mean, you'd pay thousands of dollars for that bottle, changing their money for. However, products cannot exist without the critical time you walk in the room, the light bounces off the damn thing and it blinds you. And so you go and buy a fridge magnet to put over the point at which the light bounces on it at 3 PM. And it's these everywhere, you'll find it. So I'm going to move on as to not bore you, but that's the point. So, like with the iPhone thing, you might buy an iPhone for Apple CarPlay because your car has Apple CarPlay and it annoys you that you don't use it. Or it might be, you might buy the iPhone for the aesthetics because you don't like the way an Android looks. Or you might buy it because all your friends have one. There's lots of reasons and there's lots of pain points that a lot of these different products address and solve. Okay. So, in summary, the product or solution is what value is associated with. This is what people are exchanging their money for. However, products cannot exist without the critical information required to make them. This is what we are really buying. All financial transactions exist to find solutions to problems that cause pain, and these solutions manifest as products, which could be an iPhone or this program or a plant or a sandwich or a speaker or a headphone stand or a phone charging cable or a water filter, anything. But without the critical information required to build or source these products, no value can be created. So the real key to making money is critical information. And critical information, once again, is the right information required to solve the problem. Okay? So,
Taking it.
Let's say that your problem is that you love swimming and you can't swim in your house. So you go and you buy a membership at the local leisure centre that has a swimming pool. Like, because you don't have the critical information to, build your own swimming pool in your house. Or maybe you don't have the critical information to buy a house big enough to have a swimming pool in it. So you go to some place that has got the critical information to actually build the pool and host it and make a business out of it. Okay? It exists everywhere. So now that you understand the sort of root thing of here, we're going to get into critical information. And I hope your mind's blown. I hope this is bringing some clarity. I hope this is making sense to you. But now what we're going to do is we're going to understand the nature of critical information, how we find it, how we apply it, and with a bit of luck, this should also blow your mind. So understanding the nature of critical information is easier with a visual. So the first thing you need to understand, and I want you to write this down because this is very important. You should be writing everything down that I'm saying, well, not everything, because I am quite verbose, as you can tell, but you should be writing a lot of things down. Critical information is a tool. Information is a tool used to solve a problem, okay? And what we can do is we can visualize the usage of critical information and the application of critical information to solve a problem in the same way that a lock and a key system would work. So, you know, you've probably got a lock on your house and you've probably got a key that lets you into that lock. And inside of that lock on your door in your house is basically a combination, you know, a set of pins. And your key will have a jagged surface. And what that key will do is, I mean, if it's the key to the lock, is it will fit in the lock and it will turn and open the lock. And if you try any other key in that lock, hopefully, if you've bought a good lock, it won't open. So you need the key to open the lock. And so I'm explaining this because this is how you can understand the application of information to solve a problem. So here we have the mechanism found inside of a lock, padlock, door lock, etc. Most basic locks work with a set of pins, as you can see here, that are lined up to form a unique surface pattern required to unlock it. So, you know, like there'll be these pins, there'll be metal pins, or, you know, I don't know really what they are, but they'll set like a surface pattern. And then you have the key, and the key required that unlocks the lock has to fit the lock. So the key will have a jagged surface, and it will be designed to match that of the pattern set by the lock pins inside. And if the key fits, the key can be turned to unlock the mechanism. So you can sort of see this here. We've got this key, and it's got a jagged surface where it's sort of cut in this sort of jagged way. And the jaggedness fits the surface of these pins, because the pins are put in different lengths. Well. Okay? And so if the key wants to unlock the lock, it has to
like a unique lock for a unique key, and when you put two and two together, they unlock doors.
Fit the lock.
Like quite literally.
And understanding this example, we can understand the pattern of pins as the problem. Okay? This is where it gets kind of interesting. And we can understand the key is the solution. Then basically what this means is the way the key is cut, or the surface of the key, is critical information. So using this metaphorical example, this should solidify the point I'm making here. So in life, you have a problem. Maybe you're broke. Maybe you want a swimming pool. Maybe your daughter, doesn't have the coloring book she wants.
So I assume it kind of just all funnels down to a knowledge issue, you know? Like if we all knew how to cut keys properly, then we could probably open any door in the universe. Like
maybe you're very ill. Maybe you've got, maybe your family, there's something wrong with your family. Maybe there's anything.
I that's what I gather anyway. But feel free to say I'm wrong, because I may be.
You have a problem, okay? And the problem in life is represented by these pins. It's a very specific problem. It has very specific conditions, and it looks and acts in a certain way. And what your job in life really is, at first principle, is finding the solution to this problem. And so what you're going to do is you understand your problem in depth and detail, and using your understanding of that problem, you will craft a solution that, if applied, will solve it. And so, if you're a locksmith and you want to create a key, you don't just create a key. You start by looking at the lock, and then you create the key. And so
I see. So yeah, okay, no, I gather it. So it's pretty much just like reverse engineering it as well. So yeah, you don't start making the key before you observe your lock. Okay, you look at lock first, then you kind of craft up your key. So hold on.
the problem is, the solution is born out of the problem, okay? And what you're going to do to find this solution is look for critical information, because the critical information is the thing that you're going to use to build the solution. Like, for example, let's just use this example of a lock. Let's say that you lock yourself out of your house, and you need to get into your house, and you go to a locksmith and say, I can't get in my house, I lost my key, like my dog ate it. Hopefully you're not feeding your key to your dog, but let's say your dog ate your key, right? Then the locksmith's going to come to your house, and then they're going to look for critical information. And the critical information is the pattern, of the pins, and then they're going to go home, or they're going to go back to the shop. They'll create the key, and they'll cut it, and then they'll give you the key, and then bang.
Because critical information is the right.
You've unlocked your door.
Problem.
So the pins set the conditions for what sort of key is required to match them. The key is then designed according to the pins to match, and the cut of the key is derived from the pattern of the pins. And think. If you're designing a key to open a lock, it's only possible if you start with a lock. And this is called inversion. So the next thing you might be wondering is like, okay, well, if I need to solve a problem to create value, to alleviate pain, to make money, Or if I need to solve a problem to alleviate pain to create value. Like, how do I know what problem to solve? How do I find a problem? Like, how do I know what solution to provide? And how do I know what to give people? How do I know what solution to make or what critical information to look for? Well, you start with the problem. If you want to make a key, you start with the lock. If you make a key and then you make a lock, the chances are is the key's not going to unlock the lock. Okay, so this is called inversion. So let's say that someone has, I'm going to give you this locksmith example again. So let's say someone has a problem. And that problem is that their door is locked and they've lost their key because their dog ate the key, right? Once again, probably shouldn't have happened, but you know, no one's perfect. They are in pain because they cannot enter their home, so they go to a locksmith. Now, the lock is the problem. The locksmith makes a key. According to the lock and sells it to the person. If the key fits the lock and opens it, the key is the solution. Opening the lock creates value, problem solved, pain alleviated. The person then begins to associate value with the key and lets the locksmith keep their money. And the same thing is true with any solution anywhere. The key, this is not a pun not intended, the key to finding the right critical information to solve a problem lies in the problem that the critical information is required to solve. So if you want to know what to look for, you start with the problem. And the problem sets the conditions for what information is needed, so we must always start here when creating a solution, okay? And that's it. So once again, the pins here in the lock represent the problem. The key represents the solution, and the specific way the key is cut represents the critical information. And you can kind of visualize it like this. Now, there's another example I can give you here, another sort of metaphor to make this abstraction concrete, is creating a movie. And Disney really understands this. So without getting into too much detail here, there is something called the collective unconscious. The collective unconscious is basically the collective unconscious mind of humanity. So everyone has an unconscious mind, and there's this thing called the collective unconscious, which is a theory that everyone's unconscious mind were kind of related and interconnected. And the unconscious mind of the human condition is riveted and engaged by things called archetypes. So an archetype is basically a...
How does he know this stuff, man?
It's basically a way that reality manifests to us that we find compelling, engaging, and riveting, right? So, like, for example, like watching the Olympics. Why do we do that? That's a bit strange, isn't it? Like just watching someone just throw themselves around. Well, what you're doing when you watch sport or when you watch the Olympic, it's very archetypal. Because what you're doing is you're watching someone who's gone through like lots of practice and lots of training to perform incredible feats of athletic endeavor. And, you know, we've evolved to appreciate that because of the hunter-gatherer nature of our evolution. And so, you know, the people that would have been really fit and able to do these incredible athletic feats would have naturally had status, and they would have naturally had, you know, they would have naturally been in the higher echelons of tribal society because they would have been more competent and capable when it comes to hunting and gathering and stuff like that. And so, one of the psychological theories behind why we're so riveted by sports and athletic competence is because it signals an archetype of, this person might help me get some food, right? Now, there's lots of theories, but you get the point. So let me give you an example. So an example of an archetype is the hero's journey, okay? Now, the hero's journey is a narrative framework whereby the protagonist of the story, so the main character, embarks on an adventure, and on that adventure, they face challenges and they undergo transformation. Ultimately, they return home changed, having learned something new and having come back and, fix the problem. George and the Dragon, for example, the hero's journey. There's a guy, there's a woman that gets taken and she's being protected by a dragon. So the guy, well, not protected, but she's being guarded by a dragon. The guy has to leave, and then he has to leave the comfort of his hometown, face some real damn challenges, which is slaying a dragon, and then he gets the girl, right? Now, you could argue that's sexist, but I'm just telling you the story, right? Now, this journey typically involves stages like the call to adventure, overcoming trials, and the returning with newfound wisdom or power. Now, you might be thinking, what the hell are you talking about, Charlie? Well, the hero's journey is the underpinning narrative of nearly any big action or adventure movie made ever. So, Harry Potter, for example, or any action movie, even bloody, I don't know, Moana from Disney, there's the hero's journey. She's at home on her island, and she has to leave the comfort of the island and face all these challenges and learn some things, and then she has to come back to her island and make life a little bit better for everyone because of what she learned. Any big action movie or adventure movie ever made follows the hero's journey. Okay, Interstellar is another example. Dark Knight Rises. Actually, that's not. Yeah, it is, to be fair. Anyway, I'm digressing. But basically, the point I'm making with these archetypes is companies like Disney, they understand archetypes. They understand the unconscious mind and what rivets the mind. The mind is kind of like, a set of pins. There's things that you can put in front of it that compel it to spend hours watching something, right? So when making and scripting movies and stories, big media companies like Disney will always make them around the archetypes that we as a species are most engaged by. The mind is the lock and the movie is the key. And so if you want to make a good movie, you want to make a good action movie, for example, you don't just make you don't just make a movie, you don't just make it up. You start with a framework and a structure that will compel someone to watch. It's the same thing with Mr. Beast and his YouTube videos. Mr. Beast, he doesn't just come up with these random, crazy, weird YouTube video ideas. He starts by asking himself, what would someone want to watch? And then he'll try to ideate videos around that idea. And the same thing is true with creating a business and creating value. You don't just come up with some random idea in the shower for a business. That is not how it works. You find a group of people, you isolate a problem, and from those people and their problem, you find a solution, and the solution becomes the product. You need to get rid of this idea that you need to have some random idea to start a business. Every single business ever made was born out of this phenomenon, which is, here's a problem, don't really like this problem, I'll just solve it. And then you get paid to solve it. This is how Airbnb started. Airbnb started because there was some concerts, and the founders of Airbnb were like, I want to go to this concert, but I don't want to go to a hotel because I hate hotels. So I'm just gonna, let me just try and see if someone wants to sleep on my couch. And then I don't know the exact story, but someone did. And then it's oh, okay, well, this is pretty cool. What if I charge them? And now you've got $10 billion or whatever it is valuation. So the point I'm making is you don't need an idea, you just need to find a problem, and then you need to find the critical information required to solve that problem. And in essence, what you're doing is you're selling the critical information to the person. And if you're not selling the critical information to them, you're selling the product that manifests and is built as a result of you having found that critical information, okay? Now, let's talk about bending reality. We're really leaping through the old axioms here, aren't we? But the cool thing is that when you understand this, and if this is really I'm hoping this is sinking in. Like, you can literally bend reality to your will. If you have the right information, you can bend reality to your will. You can do anything. If it's within the laws of physics and nature, anything is possible. And I truly mean that. So let's have a look at this. How do we bend reality? How do we use information, and how do we use our understanding of problems and solutions and value to bend reality? Well, really, what does bending reality mean? Well, this just means to make a change. So if your current reality is that you are broke and poor, then you need to bend your reality so that you are a millionaire and you're rich. And you can literally change the state of the world and the state of reality by finding the right information and applying that information. Like, that's it. That's how you change anything ever. Okay? It comes back, all the way up here to this diagram. Okay? Thesis, current state of reality. Antithesis, critical information. The combination of these two things with time creates a new reality. You can change the world. You can change your entire life with information. It's a wonderful thing to be able to do, and I'm so thrilled and excited to, share it with you over the next few weeks or few months with this program. So, in life, every human has a current situation and a desired situation. You do, your customers do, everyone does. This exists for nearly every facet of existence. Now, we all have a current situation for our wealth, for our health, for our family, for our relationships, for our business. And naturally, we have a desired situation for these things too. So it doesn't matter how wealthy you are, or how healthy you are, or how good your family relationships are, or how good your business is, or how good anything is, things can always be better. And it doesn't matter how good something's going for you, it can always be better. Like, it doesn't matter how many books I read, I'm never going to feel smart enough. Like, I've read quite a lot of books for a man of 26, and like, you could argue that there's some level of intelligence in between my ears, but it's nowhere near enough, right? I'm nowhere near smart enough. I don't know anything. I don't really know anything in the scheme of things. I know enough just to help like one little corner of the world solve a specific problem, but I'm not by any stretch of the imagination like smart or like extremely intelligent, and that's not a virtue signal. That's just the truth. Because the more you learn, the more you realize you don't, like, the more you start to learn, the more you realize there is to learn. And so, you have a current situation with everything. And when you have a current situation, you will naturally have a desired situation as well, because you want things to be better. Doesn't matter if I've read 3,000 books, I could always read 3,001, right? So between these two states lies a gap. And this is visualized over here. So every purchase we make ever is hinged on the idea of bridging this gap from current painful state to painless desired state. So however long this has been, the last hour or two of information can be surmised into this diagram here, where, value is really just going from where we are right now to where we want to be. And there's a gap between these two states. And, your job as a consultant is to bridge this gap for people. And what I'm doing right now with this information is bridging this gap for you. If your current situation is you don't know how money works, and your desired situation is you want to know how money works, and there's a gap between these two things, well, now you should know how money works. And I've just created value for you by bridging this gap. And so, for example, right now, your current financial situation might be that you're broke. And your desired situation is probably going to be that you're rich. And this is quantified by like millionaire or 10K a month, whatever. And between these two states is a gap. And my job with this program is to bridge this gap. So when I bridge this gap, or when you bridge this gap for someone else, we drive positive change in your life or someone else's life. And this is how we create value, okay? Now,
We'll wind that back a little bit.
And I've just created value for you by bridging this gap. And so, for example, right now, your current financial situation might be that you're broke. And your desired situation is probably going to be that you're rich. And this is quantified by like millionaire or 10K a month, whatever. And between these two states is a gap. And my job with this program is to bridge this gap. So when I bridge this gap, or when you bridge this gap for someone else, we drive positive change in your life or someone else's life. And this is how we create value, okay? Now, I'm going to show you how to start a business online. And this business is going to be a vehicle for your clients, or your market, basically, to bridge the gap between their current situation and desired situation. So this applies to your life, but to your clients' lives. So your clients have their current situation, which is their reality with the problem they have, and they have
Wait, I kind of understand what you're saying. Like, I do you like become the gap then? You become like, obviously you have client, whatever situation they may be. They could be making like 1 million a year, but they want to go to like 10 million a year, right? We could be the gap that, or not the gap, but we could be the thing in between these two situations, and we can just close that gap down, I guess.
the desired situation.
So we're not the gap, but we're the thing that closes it, and that creates value. No.
Which is a reality with the solution without the
I am getting slightly tired, but I'm pushing on.
problem without the pain. And between the state of current and desired is a gap, and your job as a consultant is to bridge the gap.
Yeah.
And we bridge the gap using
Sorry, I know he just said that. I was just going mind blank for a sec.
critical information. Now, it does not matter what niche you pick, or what service you pick, or what solution you pick to sell. What you sell boils down to this. This is what you sell. You sell a transformation between states. You sell change. Let that sink in for a second.
I wonder why. Not I wonder, but I feel like this is probably why the fitness industry is like has been popping off for a few years now, because it's such a clear result, like a physical and clear result that you can give someone. Like, you're maybe slightly overweight, you're not happy with how you look, maybe you're insecure, lack of confidence, and obviously you go maybe to a fitness coach to help you with that, and your fitness coach will tell you do this for this amount of time, and just based off like how biology works, like your body will change, and you can literally see that. Like, it's not any like numeric like numbers or like anything like that. It's a physical thing that you can literally look at and you can compare just at face value. So maybe I wonder if it's easier to sell within the fitness industry, but saying that it is also pretty saturated, I'm pretty sure. I don't know. I see it a lot, okay, and if I see it a lot, then I don't know. I don't know what to say. It's like that thing. It's like I saw it a while ago. It's like if it's on TikTok, it's already been rinsed. So yeah, but I'm sure I can make something work. But yeah,
You don't sell product, you sell change. Anything you buy ever is to take you from a painful current situation to a painless desired situation, or with less pain. Nothing's painless, right? And so what you're doing when you sell someone something, or when you make money from selling something to someone, is you're helping them make a change. It's that simple, you know? Like if you're really thirsty and I sell you a bottle of water, I've taken you from a current painful situation to a less painful desired situation. And according to the level of pain you have, you will pay me accordingly for that. And all I've done is I've sold you change, okay? I've sold you a transformation. This program is not a program. It's a vehicle for you to go from your current situation to your desired situation. Ask yourself, ask yourself now, like, why did you start this program? Like, why are you in here?
To make money.
Is it because you want to hear some random British dude with a questionable hairline try and make some sense of the world for hours on end? Or is it because you want to go from where you are now to where you want to be? Yeah, well, of course it's the latter, right?
That's what
Unless you're weirdly interested in me, which I wouldn't advise you be. But you sell change, okay? Now, the thing is like, but how? How do we bridge this gap? Like, how do we use critical information to do this? How do we go out and find, like, I mean, I'm getting to the bottom of things here, and I'm sure this is unfolding and making sense to you as we go now, but like, we know that the key is critical information, but like, how do we get it? How do we find it? How do we solve it? How do we use it? How do we apply it? Well, let me show you how to bend reality as you know it to your will. Now, as we proceed here, I want you to bear in mind that the word you and your client or market are interchangeable. So I'm talking about human beings in here. So don't make the mistake of watching this video and thinking it's all about you, because it is all about you. But what I'm about to tell you is how you're going to help your clients. And as a result of helping your clients, you're going to make money. They're going to pay you to add value. So this is how you can change your life, but also this is how you can change your clients' lives, which will change your life in the process. Because if you want to change your life, you just have to change a lot of other people's lives. That's a pretty important thing to think about, right? That's a pretty damn solid idea. Like, if you want to change your life and see positive impact and transformation in your financial situation, then you have to go out in the world and change other people's lives for the better. And you don't have to change their lives financially. You just have to solve a problem for them. And that will solve your problem of not having enough money. So I'm going to explain some extremely weird and deep and abstract concepts in a second here. And it's easy for you to gauge how these things work if I'm using you as an example. But I want you to remember that everything that you learn here is designed to help you understand not only how you can change your life, but how you can change others' lives, which is basically business in a nutshell. So, all right, here's you, okay? And I'm sure that your eyeball is a little bit higher up and your lips are not, I'm sure your lips are a little bit more symmetrical to your face. And I'm sure you don't have a nose down the bottom of your face, but this is you, okay? You have a body, which is represented by this stick figure, and you have a brain, which is represented by this, this brain. And you have 5 senses. So you have your sensory experience organisms. You have your sight, your eyes, you have your smell with your nose, you have your touch with your skin and your hands and everything. You have your hearing with your ears, and you have your taste with your lips. Okay? And this is how you experience the world. And then you have an imagination. So you have the ability in your mind to imagine things and, create a imaginary world in your brain. Like if I ask you right now, and I want you to do this, just to prove you have an imagination, if you shut your eyes right now, close your eyes for me, and I want you to just imagine a really big tall tree. Just a big tall tree. Just imagine a field, an empty field or an empty piece of land, and I want you to imagine a really big tree. And now I want you to make the tree bright yellow. I want you to give it a bright yellow, stalk, or make the wood bright yellow, and then make the leaves in the tree purple. Right? You've just used your imagination. Congratulations. You've imagined something in your mind that doesn't naturally manifest in the physical world. And we use our imagination for all sorts of reasons, but we'll get into this, okay? Now, using these things, using your sight, smell, touch, hearing, taste, imagination, brain and body, this is really all you've got to work with. As a human being, there ain't much more you've got than this. Yeah, you've got your family, you've got a driver's license and stuff, but in terms of tools that you've actually got to bend reality to your will and change the world, you've only really got these things. So using these things, you're able to bend reality to your will and completely change the way the world manifests itself to you. So if all you've ever known is financial restriction, and if all you've ever known is a bad life and suffering and stuff like that, and you've only ever known unhappiness and depression and anxiety, first of all, I'm sorry about that, and that really sucks. But second of all, it doesn't have to be that way. Using your brain and your 5 senses and your imagination and your body and you can change it, and it's possible. So let's explore how.
Before we get on to this, I might take a little bit of a break. Just because I just took in a hell load of information. I mean, I'll show you my notes. I mean, it's not massive, but it's definitely something. So, I'm I'll set a timer for 10 minutes just to get a glass of water. Just think about what we've went over. Maybe not 5 minutes, maybe. Say 5 or 10. Alright, tails 5, heads 10. Tails 10, heads 5. 5 minutes. Okie dokie. I'll be back in 5. Alright guys, I'm back. Fuck off. Get off. Okay. Had a little break. Actually wait, I need to check the time really quick. Yeah, okay, so, I mean, these are my notes, but I just realised that it is 12:15, so this video is not coming out on the, not this video, but this live probably won't be uploaded on the 8th, it'll be on the 9th. So yeah, but I just thought I'd say that. But yeah, I don't know how long we'll go on for. We'll push it to like maybe like another hour. See how far we get. Anyway, let's hit it.
This yellow circle represents your current state of reality. And this embodies every area of your existence. Wealth, health, family, relationships, etc. This is your subjective experience and what you think is true. So your reality, reality is a goddamn difficult thing to define, man. Like, you have your current reality, and that is just how the world is manifesting to you. It is essentially what is subjectively true to you. And you have your current reality, which could be that you are broke. I know I keep using the broke example, but it's just the easiest one that's probably top of mind for everyone watching this. You have your current reality, and it's not just about finance and being broke. It's also like everything that embodies your entire existence. And the cool thing about humans and us is that everyone has a different current reality. Like, the truth is kind of non-existent in certain elements. That's a dangerous thing to say. That borders on communism. I don't mean it like that. But my point is that your subjective experience and what you think is true is going to be entirely different to me. And it's going to be entirely different to the next person. And so my reality and my subjective experience and what I believe to be true about the world in the fragment of finance is that wealth is that money is easy to come by, and that money is easy to make, and that being rich is just a state and it's just possible. And that's my reality, and that is literally how the world manifests to me. But to you, it could be the polar opposite. It's the same thing as, you could have someone whose reality is that their family is broken, and the reality they experience and their subjective experience and what they think is true is that families are screwed and parents are bad, and any sort of familial interaction is always going to be terrible. But there might be somebody else, I'm very fortunate with this, where I've got a really strong, fantastic family, and I love my family. And so reality manifests to me as, in the family aspect, as something that's good and proper and fun and great. And so every single facet of your life manifests to you in its own unique way. And that's what creates what we call experience and reality. And so what we've got here is you, right, with your brain, and you can sort of see this here if I zoom in slightly. Okay, you've got you here, and inside of you, you've got your body, you've got your brain, and you've got your 5 senses and your imagination. Okay, and now what's going to happen is reality is going to manifest to you really through your senses, and it's going to be processed in your brain. And the yellow arrows here, they represent information. So reality manifests to us as information. Okay? Everything you perceive is information. And I'm not talking about information in terms of the numbers on the blackboard, or, people, when I say information, a lot of people just denote immediately thinking about a book, or, a textbook, or some words that explain something. I don't mean that. What I mean, information is basically sensory perception. So if right now, for example, someone knocks on my door, I've just received information through my sense of hearing. If I eat a burger and I taste the burger, I'm receiving sensory information and I'm experiencing reality through my tongue and through my mouth. If I'm fumbling through the dark, to find the bathroom at 3 a.m, and I touch the wall of the bathroom, then I'm receiving information that I'm in the bathroom. Okay, and that's once again a pretty horrific image for you to imagine, but you get the point. So reality can only be perceived by our 5 senses and imagination. So reality manifests to us through our senses, and it can also manifest to us through our imagination as well. And if you don't believe me with the imagination thing, well, you have dreams that that don't make any sense whatsoever sometimes. And you can watch a movie that's completely imaginary and be emotionally moved by it, and it can manifest to you, when you watch a movie and it's like you're in the camera. Like, I have this whenever I watch a good movie, like Interstellar is a primary example. The first time I watched Interstellar, because if I'm watching a movie, I'm like in the damn movie, right? And I watched it, and you forget where you are, and it's like you're experiencing, like you've got your headphones on, or you're listening to the sounds, and you've got your visuals, and like it's like you're completely encapsulated in that movie, and temporarily it becomes your reality, and you're using your imagination, kind of, because sometimes movies, they're not like real, and so that's how reality manifests to you. So this is a complicated thing to explain, so please bear with me as I do. But the yellow circle represents your current reality, and the yellow arrows represent information coming to you to manifest that reality. Okay? So anything you ever experience is information processed by your sensory organs. You can't argue otherwise. Even if you think you've seen a ghost. What did I just say? You've seen a ghost, right? That's how if your reality is that ghosts are real and that spirits are real, then then you're going to receive information that confirms that. Okay? And you're going to see things and hear things and blah blah blah. Now, the information that reality sends to us, let's bring this up here, is received by our 5 senses and processed in our brains. And this is how the world manifests to us. So the only way that the world manifests to us, the only way reality exists, is information being processed by our 5 senses in our brains. We hallucinate reality using our sensory experience. That's kind of a scary thing to think, but it's true. And our reality is fundamentally limited and constrained to our immediate sensory experiences. We believe our reality to be true and right because it's all we've ever known. The truth is subjective. Now, there is an objective truth when it comes to certain things, but when it comes to sensory experience and the way the world works and manifests to us, this is how it works. We each have our own truth in this element. Now, I'm not saying that the truth doesn't exist, because that is an incredibly dangerous statement to make. It definitely does. But in terms of how reality manifests to us, like if you're poor and broke right now, and that's what's true for your existence, like it might not be what is true for somebody else who's rich, but it's true for you right now. Fortunately enough, you can change it. But anyway, we are biased to believe that what we know is right. So, here we have information, could be like hot or cold, or, a thought or an imagination, or a sound, or some food, or some light, or a bad smell. It goes into your brain through your senses, and then from that you manifest this thing that we know as experience. Now, we are fundamentally biased to seek information that confirms our reality, even if it isn't favorable, and brings us pain. So if your current reality is that money is hard to come by, and money doesn't grow on trees, and all these belief statements that you have, then you're going to receive information to confirm that. Okay? Now, we cling on, like, for example, throughout this video, I have said making money is easy, making money is possible. There's a chance that you and your brain, you've received that information through your sensory organ of hearing and through your sight, through this video, and your brain might reject that information. You might have thought, with your imagination, which is a way that reality manifests to us, you might have thought, there's no way that's true, because I know that reality isn't like that. But I hate to break it to you, mate. Your reality, I don't hate to break it. I love to break it to you. Your reality and experience does not encapsulate the entire entity of experience for humanity. It doesn't. Neither does mine, no one's does. And that means we can like chop and change between, we can literally decide to have a different reality, seek the information, the critical information required to make that change happen by processing it, by looking for it, by processing it with our five senses, and then applying it, and then you can change your bloody reality. Like, it's possible. And we cling on to and avoid questioning our state of reality because it's all we have to offset the chaos of life. Like, you need to have a current reality, because if you don't, like, I mean, I don't know what the hell would happen. Like, you go insane. Like, your current reality is like a life raft in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean that we're sitting in. So there is this infinite like expanse of chaos and terror, you know, beneath us or around us. Like, there's too much to experience for us to not pick, if that makes sense. And what I mean by that is the reality is so vast, and there's so many instances and examples of the way that the world can manifest to us that we have to just pick a bloody fighter in the fight. We have to pick something. And the problem is most people's reality just manifests, like, they don't make any effort to change it. So I know this is getting very abstract. I will give you some examples soon, but this is where it gets pretty damn exciting. So by now we know that this is you, and this is your current state of reality. And reality manifests to you through information received by your senses, and the information you receive is almost always going to confirm your current reality. Now, this blue circle represents your unknown reality. So,
guys, I can't even lie. Not to be a bitch here, but my brain's getting tired. I'm I don't know. I don't know if I would want to watch this when I'm tired, because I don't know if I'll take it in. However, I think it's been good. I'll probably cut it short then. Today, right? We'll play from. We'll make a note, okay? So we'll do. Things to do for tomorrow. Little tick box thing. Things to do for tomorrow. We have to run 10k at some point. Carry on watching woods. Where am I? I'll do 5:53. So wanna. But yeah. Guys, it's been a pleasure recording this tonight. This is, if we want to take a look at this really quickly and compare it to pretty much everything I did last week, I think we're already up, okay? And yeah, we'll start tomorrow's video off, or stream off. We'll look at, oh no, it's before we start anything, so we can, you know, recall what we've looked at, and it's not just going to go out the window. And then we'll obviously carry on watching the this, and trying to think of anything else. Oh, I don't know. Oh, obviously make sure I actually stream. And we so we'll try get 2 streams in tomorrow, okay? Alright?
Believe it or
Because fucking hell, let's be real guys, it's been 8 days and we're on 1.2. Come on. I mean, we got, yeah, these videos are long ahead of us. So, shit.
or not,
Yeah. Maybe I get like a midday session in as well, but I'll see what happens. But yeah, for anyone that tuned in today, thank you very much. But however, this will be wrapping up for the first day of week 2, and yeah, I mean I hope the rest of week 2 goes well. I mean I know it will. I literally can't do any worse than this. I can, but like I won't. There's no way I will. Like we've already got. I would already say this has already been like a green little dot or whatever. This is a good day that we've had. Yeah. Anyway, thank you very much, guys, for coming in here today. If you did, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye, guys. Good night.